Hey guys, Reef to Home here. Just wanted to give you a quick update on where things are at. Got a couple of anemones and the clown's pretty happy the way it is. Check him out. Done quite a few modifications and I'm going to start at the very bottom. Let's check it out down here in the sump room. This is what's going on. Protein skimmer. It's doing alright. A little Cheta in there. I did a DIY algae scrubber and you can see it's working pretty well. Just came off that tea. And it's about a week and a half going. So nice production of algae on it so far. Everything looking pretty good. But basically, the main update on this is this stuff right here. Upgraded the Apex system by Neptune Systems. This is the gold package with a PM2 salinity probe, pH, ORP, breakout box with the float switches, and this thing's pretty great. I also tied in on that other black ball valve a line for the chiller that I installed. And perfect. My auto top off just kicked in for this video. Float switch turned on. I'm gonna go ahead and fill the tank. Does it pretty quick. Isn't that awesome? So it's controlled by these two float switches here. Tops it off, dumps in some water, good to go. So I'll kind of show you what I got going on. Down here off my return pump I've got the salt water drain, and that's part of my auto change, my auto water changes. This setup is going to pump out about 5 or 6 gallons of salt water, and I'll have new salt water coming in via that pipe right there, NSW, and that's going to go once a week, so it'll really reduce a lot of my maintenance. So you can see the ATO pipe dumps in water as planned. Back there, if you can rake out the word hot, that's coming off the return. That's the hot line that's going through the chiller. Gets cooled by the chiller and comes back through the cold. Chiller only turns on when the temperature hits a certain temperature. So anything over 78.5 degrees, it will cool it down, keeping basically my temperature swings less than 1 degree from hot to cold. It's pretty fantastic. Got a bit of wire management still to do. This is first run of getting set up. Reservoirs for my calcium and alkalinity. I'll have a magnesium pump as well, just a little bit later once I get that set up. That water that's being pumped out comes from these two barrels here. One of them on the right is my freshwater RO water. It's just going to sit right there, pumps in the basin, automatically fills off and tops off. It's got a float valve in there so no leaks. And this other one is a saltwater basin that's got a heater and a recirculation pump. It just mixes the salt water. That one I will be filling up so the salinity doesn't change. I just make 20-gallon batches. It'll run for about a month. I'll spend one day on a weekend, remake a new batch of salt water, and be good to go. So really minimizing all of the mixing and redoing water. Also have the doser by Apex. That's controlling my calcium and alkalinity. All in all, pretty stoked with the system. A lot of the coding kind of jumps around, but this thing makes it perfect. So much fun. I'll update you guys a little bit more on how the system works, but this is it. Only running 3.2 amps. I've got 2 power bars. This power bar is plugged into this one, so I can get a total amps on the whole system, which is really nice. You can see exactly what my usage is. It typically runs around 2.2 amps, but right now with the heaters on, it's run a little bit higher. But there it is. Tells me what I've got going on, what's currently on, the state of my float switches are, pH, conductivity, and my temperature. So, not too bad. The saltwater drain, which pumps from the sump, actually comes up to this piece of PVC I got running, and it runs all the way over to my drain. Dumps out right there, so that's how I plumbed it. I know a lot of people weren't showing how those are plumbed. That's how I did it. It's really simple for me. And the best thing in the world is this BRS dual deionizer canisters. My flow rate actually is much faster than the single canister that I had before. You can see the partial resin, so this one's going to burn off first, and then I'll start working away at these. Really happy with it so far. Definitely feel far more confident about what my water quality is. So that's what I got going on. If you got questions on how I set up anything, coding, what I did to set up auto top offs, setting up float switches, anything at all, don't hesitate to hit me up in the feed. I'll respond to the best of my ability and as soon as possible. If you haven't already, subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm going to break down each individual function on how I set it up, so hopefully it makes it a little bit easier for you if you're thinking about doing this type of system. And with that, this BRS is just fantastic. They've been really helpful. Same thing with Apex. Their communication online has just been really nice. You answer a question, they get back to you super fast. I'm not sure if you notice in this open tank, there is a little bit of detritus on the bottom, a little bit of algae growth. This is 3 weeks without having to scrub the tank at all, and basically just running that algae scrubber down in the sump. So I'm very happy about the amount of algae growth that I'm getting in here. Keeps the tank looking practically crystal clear. So Reef to Home signing out. If you haven't, subscribe, like my page. Thanks guys. Take care.